So I have been in practice in Atlanta since 2012. Solo practice, the name is Ascension Behavioral Health, where I specialize in mood disorders, right? Depressive disorders, anxiety disorders, bipolar disorder. I work with a lot of graduate students, medical professionals from medical school, and physicians. I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, and I also do, arm of my practice does corporate consulting. So corporate wellness, navigating kind of the DEI space in corporations, and more so towards racial equity in the workplace. And you'll see me on podcasts and all the such, right? Talking about various things. I would say that I think I've learned the hard way, but not doing things alone. Ask the questions. I did so many things the first 5 years, even though I had supports. I had people who I could ask, but I didn't ask questions, right? I didn't ask questions about tax stuff. I just was figuring stuff out. I didn't ask questions about kind of business structure stuff. I didn't ask questions about how to set up paperwork and those kinds of things. So asking questions often and early to help yourself get set up, because what I have found, and I noticed this across a lot of other kind of mid-career clinicians, is that we are now figuring out a lot of steps, because now there's all these different resources, particularly with social media. Now there's all these different resources to help you go into private practice. There's more coaches, there's online stuff, there's tax stuff for therapists. Like there's all this stuff that wasn't there when I was coming into the field that now helps you figure those things out. But I think a lot of us in mid-career are now kind of getting those things together in this way, in terms of structure, in terms of habits, in terms of patterns, in terms of paperwork, all this kind of stuff. So the earlier you can do those things and really focus on those kind of foundational aspects of your business, you get to kind of build and grow in a different way with a different kind of foundation that I just wish that, I wish was there, but I also wish that I took advantage of. I wasn't offering myself the vulnerability to ask more questions of colleagues who were already in the field more. I think I was just reacting to a lot of stuff. I just got to figure out how to get clients and figure out how to keep getting clients and, figure out how to do this. I got to learn how to accept money, like doing all these things, and wasn't really focused on the outside of the business. I was so much in it. So I think utilizing those resources as much as you can. So these Facebook groups, these, group consultation, all those kinds of things that are available, use those as early as you can, because they're really, really going to help you solidify stuff so that you can actually tap into creativity in like either other parts of your business, but just even other parts of your life, because these things are taken care of. I would also add, something that I'm seeing more in emerging therapists, I think because of social media and kind of all these different groups, that there is this assumption and or pressure to have this like 6-figure practice really, really soon out of school. And not saying it's impossible, y'all. Don't come for me. Not saying it's not possible. Not saying don't be motivated towards it. But I'm seeing a lot more therapists, really, really early therapists, having a lot of pressure to like fill a practice immediately, to fill a practice, to have perfectly niched down, to have, 2 populations that they're really, really kind of, seeking to kind of build their practice. And if it doesn't happen in the first like 6 months or a year, really being in a tailspin, right? Because they see all this stuff online about established practices. And it's so subjective, right? That I have colleagues who have established practices that are seeing, 35 people a week. And I have colleagues whose full-time is 11 people a week. Like there's so much, I guess, kind of just subjectivity to that, but really being mindful or kind of being able to nuance like motivation versus pressure, because there is this story or this sense that any of us with like full practices did it very quickly, and that we're just always getting clients all the time, and that every screening converts to a client, and every client converts to a long-term client, and right? So I think there's some type of disservice that's happening, right, in terms of kind of feeding this beast around productivity and growth and whatever 6 figures means to people now, that should happen in this unique space, in the private practice space.